You guys ever wonder when you're in front of the room, what is the most nervous moment before any training, any seminar? Like, is everything going forward? It is the moment where everybody takes their seat, they sit down, and then the crowd just goes silent. Yeah, that's where the anxiety comes in. You're like, oh Lord, all right, I'm on stage. Well, that being said, good morning.
Good morning.
We'll try this again. I bet we have batteries. So, good morning.
Good morning.
How are we all feeling today? Are we excited?
Yeah.
So, if you got the text message that came out, there's one thing that you should know that you should think is there's been a lot of energy going in, around, and from Legacy with a lot of things that are going on. If you were at Bold First Step, raise your hands, clap, applaud, do whatever, but yes. So think about this. If we would have went back 3 months ago, we've had different trainers, different speakers, different things happen where people came in, and we've had a lot of extra space. We've had a lot of empty seats. It's been some vacancies. We wondered where everybody was. What was Bold like? A jam-packed room, sitting shoulder to shoulder. Matter of fact, we had to close the front door because we couldn't get anybody else to fit inside the building. How good is it feel that we have attractor events and that we are impacting people's lives on a regular, everyday basis? That's phenomenal. So the very first slide we want to go through is gratitude. And I want to start it off by saying I am thankful for every agent in the last 3 weeks who has done something, shown up, who's believed in themselves or believed in their business. Whether they went to Bold First Step, business plan, BPC, business planning clinic, or your Bold Second Step, truly believing in your business and going forward, you are going to make a difference, not only in your lives, but all of your consumers' lives. They come to go through you to live out their goals and their dreams. So I am grateful to you all because you are making a difference and you are becoming influencers to other agents who want to follow in your footsteps and learn and get that valuable information. So to that, thank you all. I appreciate that. Any other moments of gratitude to give?
Well, thankful for the opportunity to attend both. I can see like the first couple of sessions I did. I can see like there's a big emphasis on the change in mindset and looking at things in a different perspective. So I'm sure like it will be hugely helpful.
100%. Thank you. Absolutely. Dustin Kimberly, our Bold coach, he specifically wanted to make sure that in my next moment of giving gratitude that I highlighted and shouted out one individual in particular. This man has been in real estate for a number of years, has a profound impact on people's lives and their businesses. And through 2 days of Bold, he has stepped up not only as a leader, but a motivator and a guide, and somebody who's helped influence other people's businesses. So Dustin Kimberly wants to give none other than a huge round of applause and great gratitude to none other than Mr. Lee Savage. During the last Bold, he stepped up and offered to help pay for that agent to go forward. Now, this is what's great about that. In our leadership meetings, we call them 827 holes. We start at 9 o'clock, don't ask questions. But we talk about what is our value that we have inside of marketing. And in that, we talked about a couple of things. One, opportunity. We provide opportunity for agents to have their business go forward, opportunities for them to change their lives, change other people's lives. We are the connectors to that opportunity. We want to continue to show, provide, and let people see that this is a place of opportunity. I want to shout out Don and the rest of the ALC because they started the trend this go round by stepping up and willingly paying for agents to go to Bold. Whether they paid partial scholarship, paid a full scholarship, they stood up and took money out of their own pockets and said, we believe in you. We want you to make it. We want you to go forward. That's connecting that person to an opportunity. But you know what it also is? And show, and we're grateful for every agent in this building for you guys continuing to do that. Phenomenal job. We got a few more minutes, so moments of gratitude. Any more gratitude?
I also want to have a gratitude for Bold because Since 2 days of old, I'm in contract and I have a listing appointment tomorrow night. I was worried about the $800, really, really.
Has it paid for itself?
Really?
Has it paid for itself? Yes, yes, I love it, I love it. What else
The
do we have?
listing appointment is a buyer as well.
It's a buyer, right? Listing buyer.
Okay, okay.
You so humble.
I
know, right?
I was like, hey, no.
Yeah. What else? Have anything else? Moments of gratitude.
Organic, that's grateful for Brianna. Just taking that step forward to just living your some help. Another person.
Here.
Hold on, don't tempt me to go grab a microphone. I'll do it. 1 second. It's right there, right?
Right here.
Okay.
Oh, that was that, yeah.
Does it come on too?
Hi, everyone. I was just saying that I'm grateful for Brianna. So she's constantly trying to help another person grow, another agent grow in the marketing, and that's what I'm grateful for.
Yay.
Anyone else? Any other moments of gratitude? All right. That's, we gloss over this so often in so many meetings, the gratitude, but a part of who we are and a part of the culture that we go through is us being appreciative for each other. Let's go through and take moments throughout each of our days. There are a lot of things that happen in this building, happen in our business over and over again, where just a simple thank you and an acknowledgement will go a long way, not just for ourselves, but for other people involved. So this, I want us to think about this through every meeting. Just think about who we're grateful for. It's something that you can just share with somebody else that will change and make their day. All right, you go for it. So we'll see later. I was asked to talk about how do we recruit, how do we grab people, and what is our value? What do we bring to the table over and over and over? And I mentioned it earlier, as a leadership team, we talked about value that we provide the market center. There's one core belief that we go through over and over and over. If you guys haven't seen it enough, if you haven't heard it enough, we'll go through it again. Why we are with KW, why do we do what we do? We do it for one main reason. To build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living,
Experiences worth giving and
legacies worth living. That's what we do this for every day. As you go through and you wonder what the leadership team is doing, what we are working towards, what are we trying to put inside of our world? This is our mission. This is what we work for every day. Whether it's our KW or any other office, this is what we are all striving and working for. If there is something that you want to see to have within your world, if there's something that you want to have inside of your business, if there's something that you want to learn how to do, an experience, learn how to give, come talk to us. We will show you the different paths. We will show you how to get there because this is what we strive for every single day. You'll see it continuously around the room. You'll hear me talk about it over and over again, but this is just what we strive for and how we work every single day. Another huge part of who we are is we spread that mission over and over and over again. And I want to give a huge round of applause. Start clapping now. To our newest agency on the bank. Come here, when you listen to in the back. Want to give a special thanks to Scott Gorsuch for joining the Market Center. Ms. Don Brooks, Angela Tubbs, Noah Young, Janelle Osborne, Leslie Thompson, Monica Breckenridge, and Janice Sedman. Thank you all for believing in us, in your business and your career together. Isn't it nice to make money? Isn't it nice to make a lot of money? Isn't it nice to know that you're going to get 100% of your commissions? That being said, another huge round of applause to our three newest cappers. Mr. Mike Bailey, congratulations, and you all 100% of your commissions. This is a special slide because this slide shows a lot of hard work. Yes, we're looking for Vivian. We don't see it right now because she's normally always in this building. But this is something that
I'm here.
All right, congratulations. This slide's for you. Congratulations to you, Jenna and Keith, each of you having your first listing inside of Keller Williams Legacy. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And this slide is just as important. A huge shout out to these agents. I've seen them multiple days working their butts off to get better and to get to the point they can have their first closing. Congratulations to Devon and Thomas. Great job, you guys. For getting this. And without further ado, our fabulous Director of Coaching and Business Development, Alana Ubercats.
Okay, yes, I have like notes for myself. So I want to give some shout outs to coaching, and if I forget a name, I'm working on some fumes right now, just coming back from California, so I so apologize. All right, some shout outs from coaching. Kim Jackson, first listing that went active last week and already an offer on it. Yeah. I was traveling last week, and one of my favorite things when traveling, besides wine, I didn't say it, but Angie knows me, is when I get those calls, or Kirsten and I get those calls and those text messages going, oh my God, someone wants to write an offer, right? And so I was literally walking down the strip in Vegas last week, and it was weird because it was almost around the same time every day. Every day, a new agent was like, I need to write an offer. Can you help me? Can you look this over? I have an offer to submit. Can you check this out? Thank you, Doug, for stepping in and helping. Please. We want to know who Doug. And each and every day, I want to give a shout out to Tamika, Maria, Tara, and Dawn for new listings and also writing offers between last week and today. I hope I didn't forget anybody.
You know what's awesome about that?
No, go ahead. Oh, the next one.
Oh, no, what's awesome about that is everything that you just heard there was a product of our mission, right? Build careers worth having, business worth owning. Each of these people are putting in hard work towards their business, and we are a market center that's about production and getting your goals and getting there. Congratulations to you, Alana, for helping those agents see their goals, and Kirsten especially
Yes.
for helping them reach it. And that's a phenomenal thing, and that's a phenomenal tool that we have in our market center that we need to highlight, we need to share, we need to be grateful for, because they are here driving production for all of our agents. So thank you so much, and moment of gratitude for you and the coach.
Okay, upcoming trainings. We have an amazing training calendar coming up on the rest of this month and into November. Today, please, when this is over, do not leave. Stay to hear the one and only Doug give the market of the moment. And yes, Doug and yes. We have a CE class, who needs some continuing education? I know I do, and I think I have like 2 months to take it. So CE class this coming Friday, Unlocking the Mysteries of Credit. On Monday, anybody feeling a struggle, a little burnout? Okay, anybody feel a little burnout? Like, oh my God. Okay, so Monday we're gonna be doing an activity, burnout recovery. Rediscover your passion. On the first, instead of Day of the Dead, we're doing Day of the Uncomfortable. So please come on in here. We're gonna have leads, breakfast, leads, food. Did I mention leads?
Yeah.
From 9 to 2, whatever time you can get here. So even if you can't attend on time, that's cool. We're gonna be out here. We're gonna be smiling, dialing for dollars, making connections, and having a good time. And getting a little uncomfortable.
Nice.
So please make sure you have that on the calendar. Then John Newman back there, hi John, what's up? Is on, there was a session that was happening with a lot of our top producers, was it 2 weeks ago? Less than 2 weeks ago. And they said, we really want to know more about probate. So ask and deliver. So John's like, all right, I'm coming to teach a class. So absolutely mark your calendar and be in this seat. November 2nd, probate mastery with John Newman. On the 8th, hands-on workshop, writing some contracts with Doug. That is in person only, by the way, because you are physically in here writing contracts. That is not going to be on Zoom. Every Wednesday, we have our command class with the one and only Kirsten. And also, that is a busy day. Look at that 8 there. Woo! We got contracts, technology, and running the open house playbook to really master 7th level open house. Ah, that's some fun stuff. I'm excited. Giving it back.
Thank you.
Ready?
Go to the next.
Yeah, give me just 2 seconds. Brandon's been thinking about the culture that we enjoy here and our sort of competitive advantage. We talked about people paying for bold. We talked about people helping other agents. My way to try to bring value for this market center is to not just talk about the market, because that's really boring and I don't actually know that much. But if we can tap into our culture of sharing, everybody here wants to help their neighbor, right? I want to have a real discussion with people with boots on the ground that are crushing it every single day. And we're going to have an open and frank conversation about how their business is changing, what they're seeing, what they're not seeing, how we need to change our dialogue when we're setting expectations with our clients, and also how we may need to adjust our business in the way that we practice in order to really thrive. So right after this, I'm going to start giving a spiel. We're going to bring up people. We're going to have a really great conversation. So please stick around if you can.
Oh, it's on. Go back all the way to. All right, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna run off track here for something. And go back to the calendar. Is it impactful for you to know about what's happening in the market from a supply and demand standpoint?
Yeah.
Is the economics of your business or economics of the market very important to you?
Yeah.
Do you think that's important to other people who are in this industry?
Yeah.
Okay. Is lead generation an important part of our business?
Yes.
Can you have a business if you don't lead gen?
No.
Do we want to find ways to cultivate and grab more listings?
Yes.
To everyone who said yes, and that this is important to you, if you know it's important to somebody else, go to the flyers, go back to the flyers. We're talking about the market. We're talking about the economies of scale. This is something that's important to you, important to a neighbor. Who have you told? And let's hold ourselves accountable as a market center. Did you know about this prior to today? Okay. So that's something from a market center perspective. If we want to be better, we want to cultivate these things for you. Hold us accountable. Make sure that we are marketing these things to a better fashion, because we now know how important this is, right? If you knew about it, could you help someone else's business? Could you possibly, conversation with William and I, grab profit share by bringing somebody in who would love to hear about how the market's transitioning? Next slide. If lead generation is difficult to the point that we feel that we're burnt out, how much better is it if you lead gen amongst your peers and have other people in the room that you have support from as you're doing it? You have a coaching department who's heard you. They got an entire day dedicated to you. This is something that will drive your business forward. If it's there, it's impactful. We can sit down, we can do this together. It's on the calendar. Let's use it. Next slide. You want to grab more listings. We have this training in person in this building for us. We don't have to go out of our walls to get the information that you need to be successful in this industry. All we have to do is tap into it. If there's somebody, and I know each of us have had conversations with other people, either they're across the table from us. I just had lead gen this morning with agents that Jawan, Vivian, Mel, each of you just had in Mark, each of you just had a closing with. I just had a conversation with each of them, invited to the probate masterclass in your name, and they are ever grateful for you guys being in contact with them, doing a deal with them, and then letting them be a part of this training that's put on in your name. People want this information. They want to be connected with you. You don't have to go anywhere else. It's here over and over again. We put these things on. Hold us accountable to market it to you better, but it's here for you guys to be a part of. Let's take advantage. Let's learn, let's grow our business and go forward. We go to the next one. Oh, and another appreciation event. So for your clients, each year we do our pie appreciation party. Mel has worked tirelessly to ensure that we have this on the calendar. If you haven't participated in it before and you want to know exactly what it is, this is the moment for you to give back to your clients. Give them holiday gifts and pies. If you have other businesses in other industries, use this as well. So as an example, just outside of real estate, I do the pie appreciation party for my wife's physical therapy clinic every year. We go to each one of our doctor's offices, hands on pods. It's a completely different industry, and you know it's well absorbed and it's slow, and you grab business from it. It's another touch point. It's another way to lead gen. It's another way to be in contact with your clients. We have an entire playbook that's laid out with flyers and classes to go through to understand how to use this effectively. Mel, when's the next step, or what's next in the pie party event?
We have, the playlist has already been sent out, and it tells you to start calling your database to let them know that you're having this. And then you'll be sending out the dates. We have all of this stuff printed for you, it's all ready. All you have to do is send it to your clients. We even have the label that you put on the center of the pie that says, thank you for your business, and it's personalized with your name. So everything is there, ready for you. I'm telling you, if you spend $15, you buy 10 pies, that's $150, it'll come back threefold. Okay, it is a great event. Last year, my clients, I had to put them out of the building. They didn't want to leave. And when you see them, when I see them now, they're like, am I coming to the pie party this year? You know, so you want to make sure you invite. It's not only people that you've done business with, people that you hope to business with, and people that you know. It's a great event. We're a good time, and we're gonna have it here.
Yep, make it easy. Inside the market center. If you don't have the playbook, contact Alana, contact Mel, contact Kirsten. We each have a copy of the playbook that we can give to you so you can see exactly what steps that you need to go through, and Sarah as well.
They're all printed out at the front desk if you want one today as
Yep.
well.
Take advantage. It's a great opportunity for you and your clients, and for having a great touch point for each one of them.
I do.
Hey, look at that.
I don't know what.
Okay, so has anyone ever heard of Inman?
Yeah,
What is Inman, for somebody who doesn't know?
it's a huge magazine. They do all these conferences with the top-notch people, and they interview. It goes all over the world, and if you're on there, you're somebody. So congratulations, Brandon.
I want to bring that right here, the myth, the legend, was interviewed, and we're gonna have a watch party right here, Wednesday, November 1st, 1:25, not 1:30, right, not real estate time, 1:25, all right? So please, let's give Brandon some love and all show up and have some fun, and watch him be amazing that he is.
Yeah. We couldn't be who we are if it wasn't for some wonderful people who continuously support us over and over again. And from their supporting us, it allows us to do the different things, from the bold classes to our bus trips to New York, to the pod parties, to just different trainings and different things that we have. So from their support in us, please go out and support our following sponsors: UT, Fairway, Home Sale Plus, Bullpen Transaction Management, Main Street Home Loans. Anna in the back, thank you very much. I refer her out more than anybody because after your AC blows out when it's 110 degrees outside, she becomes your best friend.
Yes.
So, and then a huge shout out to our young professionals. If you know anyone who is under 40,
Yeah.
whatever, connect them in with our young professionals, right? They are doing some wonderful things inside of just real estate, but it's a great connection point for us to continue to be impactful with the agents. And as they come up and they're developing their business, we have established that back inside the Baltimore area. Continue to show support. If there's somebody that you know would be a great fit for it, contact Stanley Savoy. He is the president of the chapter, and he can help continue to grow the Young Professionals Network. Thank you to each of you. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Please elaborate on the trip to New York. I was just thinking that. We didn't say all that. Oh, no, go ahead. You're doing a great job.
Mm-mm. I didn't go last year.
Oh. It was awesome. It was amazing.
Okay, so, hold on. What was that?
It was awesome. I loved it. Yeah.
That was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this time of year, we have to have some fun before we go into the new year, right? Throughout the entire year. So we have some amazing things coming up. We have our annual Thanksgiving potluck you'll be seeing information on, and the sign up thing will be at the front desk. the pie party, right? Get the information at the front desk. And then last year we rented a bus and woke up bright and early, had breakfast. Thank you, Anna Coleman. Last year we had breakfast. And like muffins, like I'm not talking about like pancakes and stuff. Right?
Yeah.
And 7 a.m. we got on a bus right here, went to New York, had the whole day to do whatever you wanted, then met up at an amazing place for some appetizers and drink, got back on a bus and partied the whole way home. Right? Like, we partied the whole way home. I think there was one person trying to sleep. So because it was such a huge hit, thank you, Mel, for lining up the buses this year, and we are doing it again. December 6th.
Okay.
December, so mark your calendar now. If you're on Zoom and you work a job, please take off December 6th and join us. There will be a very, very strict cutoff date for registration. This is not like one of those things you go, oh my God, I'll think out 10.
And a departure.
And the departure time will be 7 a.m.,
Exactly.
not 7:05, not 7:06. We will leave you. We will leave you this year because we actually have things we have to get there by a certain time. So it will not be real estate time. It's going to be real life time. All right. So what? There are going to be 55. I love how Mel's like doing this. So there's going to be 55 seats. You're allowed to bring a plus one, not a plus two, but a plus one.
Right.
Okay.
We do have the ability to have another bus if we have an overwhelming demand. So the sooner you guys book, the sooner I can get another bus if we need it.
So we'll be getting all the information out to you, registration, deadlines, all the information, deadlines, okay? Hopefully we'll get that out by next week at the latest, because we need to because of the buses. You know? Yeah.
All right, so that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes. Are you going with us this year?
The answer is yes.
So, first of all, I'll try.
And
Very bold.
we do.
Well, first of all, let me explain this. I gotta go home and answer to somebody, and if they say I need to watch some kids, no, I ain't gonna. Let you know right now. I love y'all, but I only in the bed with y'all. All right, so we made the announcement, right? You saw on Facebook that we got a special guest over here, right?
Yes.
And we're excited for our special guest because we usually have some pretty good ones, right? Well, there's a story behind the special guests that are coming up today. And that story really revolves around the recognition of how do we be better? How do we do better? How do we show up better? How do we find a way to make sure that we are impacting the lives of everyone within this building and doing it effectively? And with the state of the market, we see things shifting almost drastically, right? Well, we want to do it at a very quick pace. We want to make sure that you can feel these changes as well. Just something as simple as the probate class that's in front of you, it makes a difference to have trusted and valued partners that can provide not just value, but insight, guidance, and leadership in times where we really need it. And with that, it is my extreme pleasure to make an introduction and introduce to you partners within our world who you'll see over and over again as they continue to help guide, lead, and move us forward to not just profitability and the great pastures of money, but to really connect us into the businesses that we want to have, into our dreams and goals. So I want to introduce two partners and two people who are our special guests today. They have established phenomenal businesses and they have continued to lead, guide, and move people forward in their journey. Without further ado, I would like to introduce first Mr. John Newman and none other than Ms. Kymber Menkiti.
Age before beauty.
Right.
And Kymber loves buses.
My 4 kids, so like buses are my thing. I need this, I feel like I lost my voice when I was with you guys a couple weeks ago, and it's taking this long to come back. So first of all, it's good to see you, it's good to be here, and I know some of you have had a chance to connect with at the top producer event, we've had a chance to connect with the investor group, and, all right, John, party it up. So what we're excited about is an opportunity, and I see Mark in the back, to really harness the power of collaboration. As we're in kind of this perfect storm in our industry, right? We're in the middle of an aggressive lawsuit. There's a question about how we get compensated. We're at a significant height in interest rates. We're at a massive contraction in units. And every day, even on mainstream news, right? Wall Street Journal, MSNBC, you're seeing the headline about what is the future of real estate. And we believe strongly that the future of real estate will be harnessed in the power of collaboration. Our ability to work together, to come together as not just an industry, but in the brokerage landscape. And so we're excited to really, over the next month, work through a partnership between Keller Williams Capital Properties, which is an organization that I've been part of and founded 15 plus years ago with a sales business, to partner that business with Keller Williams Legacy to really bring more, right? Which expands the footprint of Legacy and what you have access to, and ultimately to really be able to drive masterminds, training, education, and at the end of the day, profitability, so that you can really ultimately businesses worth owning that drive to legacies worth leading. So, John, I'm excited that we're doing this together. John and I had an opportunity to partner together not too long ago. John's been leading in the Keller Williams world as well in Anne Arundel County through the Crofton office as a phenomenal sales business that actually has an expansion group right here. So we're excited to dive in and to work with each of you and to work with this phenomenal leadership team that you guys already have. Sound good?
We have, I think it's an honor to be here, and it's an honor to be beside Kymber. I mean, it's funny. I think that I'm probably the hardest worker around. Like, I pride myself and nobody will outwork me. I may have met my match, actually. I don't know how else he does it. But we're really excited. And now, in a moment of uncertainty, there's a lot of uncertainty. I mean, the fact that you all are here, you may not realize this, but you may have, you survived. You're survivors. This has been probably one of the, from a unit standpoint, most difficult years in real estate, definitely since I've been in real estate, and that's going back a couple of decades now. But so congratulations to each one of you all. But now it's also the time to take advantage of the uncertainty. So we want to make sure that every one of you have the tools, the resources, the opportunities to not only survive the market, but to really thrive. And then let's go out and take territory in the Baltimore metropolitan region to show up in strength, because there's a lot of people that are looking for strength right now. They're looking for, in a time for the last 5 years, training, education was like, who needs that? I have Instagram. I can make $100,000 a year off of Instagram. Now there's a flight to quality. There's a flight to what are the tools, resources, systems, and models that I need to actually build a business worth owning and a career worth having. So let's rock and roll.
I'm good. So we are going to dip through this really just to give you a sense of the back part of it, right? Like, why do we do all of this? And what was powerful to me is when you look at the mission, like why we do what we do, there was already a very natural alignment. If you look on you guys have it on the step and repeat right here that you walk by every day that you come into this office, which is an underlying commitment to transforming lives. In our world, that expanded to lives, careers, and communities. We have a development business as well as the other part of our company that invests in real estate assets, really in the DC metro area and across the country now, particularly in emerging communities, and looking to harness the power of real estate to actually be a transformational, not just in the worlds we create, but ultimately, what are you trying to do, right? You're trying to have an impact, likely in the communities and the lives of those people that you serve. So that's sort of this like guiding light of how we do that. And how do we do that? Ultimately, our big vision as a company is to empower the agent entrepreneur. Right? How do we have the tools, the resources? Because we realize when as entrepreneurs, right, when business leaders, when we're empowered, you actually have the ability, right, to transform everything else. Now, like the number one way that wealth is transferred in our world is through what asset? That's right. And what do we do every day? So that's our real estate, right? So how do we actually use that
is the harnessing force for not just the clients that you're serving, but for each of you. Do you want to walk out of here wealthier? Because that allows you to have a bigger impact. Say yes. Yes, right. So that's how do we do that? Even in a time when we're gonna see the lowest unit count this year than we saw in the worst economic recession of our country. You will see less units this year than you saw in the worst economic recession. So when John says you were here, like, do not take for granted that you were here. Because we are gonna likely see another 200,000 to 300,000 realtors get out of the business in the next 12 months.
Wow.
So we believe that there's power in collaboration, there's power in being a collective force, the disruptive forces in our market. If we go to a world which could be very likely, where as a brokerage, you actually first share listings in your brokerage first. So do you want to be a place where 1 in 5 units in the United States are sold in the brokerage that you're a part of? Absolutely, right? Because now we could be looking at a very likely world, where even in our bright MLS is the #2 sized MLS in the country. And if they go to a world, which is what is on the table today, where listings first are circulated amongst the broker. What does that mean, right? Well, in Maryland alone, we have 4,000 Keller Williams. Do you want to have right, you want to be in a place where you get access to that, where your clients get access to that? If that is what sort of the way we're going through, as we reimagine what the real estate industry looks like with the DOJ's investigation of the class action lawsuit, lots of different things. Who saw New York, the state of New York already changed their how they do real estate in New York, right? In light of the lawsuits, the New York Commission changed how the real estate agent gets paid. They just announced that yesterday. So there's a lot happening, and we want to make sure we've got the forces at the table so you can get on the ground and implement it as soon as it impacts your business. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's rock and roll.
So we start with why. We always start with why. And there's so much going on in the headlines besides Brandon.
Well, this is I think of what, and I'm hitting buttons that I don't really know. I think this is what Kymber just alluded to. Whoa.
I know, we got it. We're gonna keep going. He was like, I got this.
Like, this is all the noise that we're facing right now. Like, it's literally the perfect storm in real estate. And this is why there's strength in numbers and there's power in collaboration. Because this is what not only are we facing, but our other agents are hearing about. Now, some of them, because they're probably not with us, may not be hearing about this. It's just like status quo, business as usual, but their pocketbooks do not feel business as usual. So through collaboration, our goal behind this is to not only bring this massive value to you, but bring value to the marketplace, to basically dominate and take over the darn marketplace. So sorry. I shouldn't touch this probably.
Like, step away.
So have you all seen, we're not gonna play the video because we're short on time, but have you all seen the Simon Sinek video Start With Why?
We're gonna send it out. It's a TikTok.
We'll send it out to everybody. It is a TED Talk, but basically the bottom line, when you think about our mission, it starts with a why. So when you hear the word career worth having or business worth owning, what does that actually mean to you? It's not about selling real estate. It's about something more purposeful and impactful to each one of us. So as we go through this collaboration, we want to keep this as a centering focus. What is the why? Why do we do what we do? And how does that impact you all so that you can have a career worth having, a business worth owning, a life worth living, experiences worth giving, and a legacy worth leaving? As it pertains to legacy, which one? And then here's kind of a bigger vision, and I'll let Kymber talk about this, but once again, when you think about what we're creating, we've got a really, really big vision through this collaboration, which brings tremendous amount of value to each one of you all.
Yeah. So Capital Properties was started actually the very first and only network market center in Washington, D.C. about 15 years ago, right? So that started as the first footprint, and that footprint has continued to expand. So I'm leaving here, I'm going to Fredericksburg, Virginia, where we're doing the grand opening of our newest location in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So that footprint expanded to Fairfax, Virginia, to Stafford, to Springfield, to Fredericksburg, and then up to Montgomery County, into Rockville, and to Bethesda. So that was the existing today footprint. There are 9 locations and about 1,000 associates in the Capital Properties footprint of KW. And Bo and I started as a residential sales team. We started as dual career agents, starting a residential sales team with a hyper local business that still operates today. So I think the understanding, I think it is the power for us of aligning with the Keller Williams platform, was that we were building an agent business. And so we were building a brokerage that made sense for an agent business. And so this opportunity to actually put those forces together and to harness the power and the strength that has been created by everybody in this room in the legacy world to then expand that footprint, expand those resources. Today, Capital Properties has 10 of the top agents in Gary's mastermind group, right? You have $100+ million teams that have built their entire teams inside of the KWCP platform. How many of you are familiar with Coalition, with Keith and Ryan and Harrison and the group that they've created? That group is not only just 5 years old, right? Harrison, Ryan, and Keith were all rookies of the year, but where they partnered together to birth Coalition. Sheena Statham, one of our top agents who runs one of the largest referral businesses in the country that's based right here in Maryland. Many of you know because you take a lot of our social media and digital marketing classes. Fulcrum Properties, another one. So you've got these large powerhouse businesses that are collaborators, their shares. And one of the things that I'm most proud of, that I'm very excited about, the opportunity to continue to expand those numbers here, is not just that they have great brokerage businesses, but they have great wealth building journeys. That brokerage is one of their businesses. Their sales business, that is one of the businesses. There's also a platform of how we're actually building wealth through different investment vehicles. So when I look at the millionaire roster of net worth millionaires that are creating, that's the number that I'm most excited about. So when you look at this expansion for us, you're going to see a big focus there. How are we looking at, it's why John's doing the probate class. How are we looking at not just building your great real estate business, but how are you also then leveraging the cash that's being generated in that business into investments so that you're creating a wealth building journey, right? 97% of realtors leave the business with nothing more than their social security. 97% of realtors. We are going to change that number here, right? In terms of our community and what we're doing. So that's really important to us. So when you see that 500 millionaires, that's one of the things I'm most proud of to be part of that 500. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, right? We already are. We're going to how many right names are we on that? All right, we take it. But how do we do that together? And ultimately, we know that this is a power that is really about building businesses worth owning that allow you to do all the other things. So when we look at the expansion of that, I'm going to test that 2-hour drive today. And then this is the last thing we're going through, which is just the 5. This is the 5 pillars. A lot of this you know, but yeah.
When it comes through your why, so think about a career worth having or a business worth owning. Then the next question is, well, how will we deliver that? How will we help people do that? Because that's when it gets tactical. Like it's not about like just, okay, that's great, it sounds good, but how do we actually deliver on that? It's world-class training and education. And through the collaboration that we'll be doing, it's about leveling, not saying that we had a low level of training or education, but how do we bring world-class training, education, the best speakers, the best classes, the best workshops, so that no matter where you are in your business journey, you're always striving for something more. Wealth building opportunities, which Kymber just talked about. Like everybody in real estate should be thinking about real estate, not only from building their business, but how am I creating wealth? And the vision of creating 500 millionaires, and you gave me a statistic one time of how many you've already done, and I was blown away. Like the first thing I thought was, I need to be in that world. So that's a different conversation. So you think about like you become, a summation of the 5 people you're surrounding yourself with. Well, trust me, I want to surround myself with people that are millionaires, deca-millionaires. I don't know what 100 millionaires actually called, but billionaires, because it's a different level of conversation. So how do we bring that level of conversation here to Legacy? Community and culture. And I think you all have done an amazing job of building community and culture already. How do we expand that footprint? Because one of the things that I hear from top agents all the time is they want more community. They want to collaborate with other top producers. So let's create that community. Technology support and consumer value. The consumer value part, and then we're going to go to the next slide, this is once again part of the changing that we're seeing in the industry right now. The consumer will actually have more options. Like think about the class action lawsuits are driven by the consumer. The consumers are saying, we want something different. We want something more. So ultimately, the consumer is going to have more power and more control, which means that we have to change our value to the consumer. Any questions on that? Because that's an important topic. We see a world. Remember, all the other companies are trying to get rid of us. It's a process called disintermediation. We're the middlemen. We're the intermediaries of the transaction. So the technology platforms are trying to come at us and say, listen, you don't need the real estate agent.
Like Zillow, for example.
like Zillow, for example.
Well,
Zillow,
think about who's old enough to know what a traveling ban. Do you know what, right, and the fact I can even say that is because technology, right? What happened? You have a whole, who's bought a flight recently? Did you pick up the phone and call someone to help you? Or did you just like type it in? And while that might have seemed crazy, depending on like how your experience was with that, we believe ultimately, this is somebody's largest financial transaction. This is not booking a flight, right? So I think there has already been a decade and billions of dollars spent just trying to get to the commission. This idea that like the commission and the value that you provide, and yet the consumer continues to say, I want to use you. I want the fiduciary. I want the expert. I want the person who's gonna help me navigate this transaction. So we believe that there's a bet to be made on making sure that the agent is armed with the consumer value tools, because if you look across the industry, we have like 10-to-1, the highest capture. When you say to your client, here's the insurance person, call them, you have a 90% likelihood that that person calls the insurance agent. When the insurance agent just goes into the world and tries to get a client, it's like a 1% conversion for them. So they need you. So we have to use that collective power that the consumer is saying, I want the person, I want to call you, and you help me navigate this entire transaction. Who's had a client call them for something other than real estate? Is that right? Why? Because that means you're actually doing a good job of being the center of that. We had one of our number one agent text me the other day who said, I have a client, I guess this is a good thing. She called me and asked for a dentist. She's a multi-millionaire. She was like tons of properties, and she was like, Alan, I need a dentist. Give me a dentist recommendation. That means he's doing a good job, right, of being the trusted resource for that person. And so we believe we've got to empower that the brokerage is what we've been calling the power of home strategy, that we want the agent to be able to provide all things home for their client.
and that's one of the bets that we're making. We're making a bet, whereas other people are making a bet that you're not needed. We're actually making a bet that you're actually the most valuable piece in the transactional process, in the power of home. But you think about, we're moving towards a transactional type experience for a consumer. And I jokingly, this is agents are good at one night stands, but they're horrible at relationships. Because they think about things in many agents think about things from a transactional viewpoint. We believe that there is it's the life cycle of a consumer. So, and now there's a shift in just a concept from, instead of transactions, it's households under management. So how do we provide value to the household throughout the life cycle of owning an entire household? And then we'll have another workshop on technology that's being built right now for you to deliver that experience and stay at the center of the transaction. And that's the power of them.
Yeah, because you think about what people have been going after your commission is $1 billion industry, right? The services that they use for the time that they own their home is trillion, there's so much in that. So not just being that trusted advisor, but also when you think about building verticals in your business, how are you monetizing and making sure that that piece of those relationships, whether that's marketing, whether that's resource, is actually something that's an asset that you have. When you have households under management, you think about your database as the homes that you serve for their real estate needs, then that gives a different level of power to what you're able to provide and what you're able to utilize as we're building as a brokerage the rest of that.
And that's what some of the lawsuits are about, that they're making a bet that we are not true fiduciaries in the transaction. We're basically looking at it from a number standpoint, like it's about a commission, it's about a transactional fee. We believe and are making bets that we are true fiduciaries.
And
we
those that will survive,
those
the agents that will survive will have to adopt.
provide more value, more education, more experiences. And we're excited about moving forward and creating that and then providing more opportunities for each one of the associates inside this market center.
More for more. It's a return.
That's basically
Take
it.
the question.
Yep.
Very good.
Questions?
And I think I do want to shout out your leadership team. I see Mark in the back, Brandon, right, Alana, Lauren, like Sarah, you guys have a phenomenal team. And what we're excited about is the expansion of that leadership team and bring in additional tools, resources to take their talents and use them across a bigger footprint and just to continue to deliver more. So thoughts, questions? I think the power of, you want to go fast, go alone, you want to go far, go together. And we are committed to going far together. The power of the We got lots, we're not we're gonna do a whole strategy. Are you on today? That'll be another thing.
Yeah, we can have a whole nother hour-long meeting.
Mark, did I leave anything out? Well, there's lots more coming. This is just sort of, it's important to us to start from the inside out. So first communicate here, what we see and where we're going, and then continue over the next month. You'll continue to hear more and get more updates, but right now we're just excited to keep growing with you.
It feels like it's a level, you know, like you grow in your business, right? You hit a certain point and then you want to see the extra opportunities that come from you graduating and going forward in your business. It feels like that's what Legacy just did, right? We just hit a point where now what other opportunities there because we've grown in our world and now we can see just from a transaction standpoint to household management, I'm stuck on that phrase because
I think that was about.
it's a phenomenal phrase, right? Because now I'm just thinking about every transaction that went through. If I looked at it as a household managed, how many more opportunities do I now have with that client?
Yes.
How are my relationships with my vendors changed? Because now we are always tied in together. We are always looking at each other. We are always doing something that will evolve our business as it goes forward. It's that next level that we can go forward in our business, and that's what we get to do together. So I'm excited about that, you guys.
It's exciting, yes.
It's great to be connected with it.
Well, it's interesting, Brandon, and I'm not gonna speak for Bo, but,
I do it
or
all the
Kymber,
time,
but I would, when we think about it, what would a day look like where we can monetize a household even when they're not having a closing? What would that day look like? Would we think differently about our client base if we knew that they just had hired a contractor to come out to their house and somehow or another, we were somehow maybe compensated for that? It would literally change our mindset into looking at our relationships with our clients. And I think that's how we need to be thinking moving forward. Moving forward, that's what the consumer's actually going to want. That's how we're going to deliver more value. Because if it's just about a singular transaction, the consumer may say, well, that's only worth this. I mean, that's what they're saying right now in the lawsuits. That's only worth this. So we have to be thinking more from a holistic standpoint of a household it's something at somebody's core of who they are as a human being. It's a wealth building opportunity for them. It's where they raise their families. Like it's something more powerful than just a closing. And that goes back to starting with why. When you think about what a household does for and owning real estate does for an individual, it changes lives. It changes generational lives. So we have an obligation, I believe, in this business to think about it from a much larger perspective than just a closing. And I long for the day where it's like, okay, great. I can stretch out this relationship and figure out a way, because influence is power. We have influence over our database. If I could figure out how to turn that into a couple of dollars here or there over time and capture the real estate transaction, then that's going to be a really beautiful place. And we're at the cutting edge, I believe. Many people aren't thinking this way. So when I look at some of the conversations with Bo and Kymber, they're thinking 3 years ahead. And that's the company that I want to be aligned with. A company that isn't looking in the past, they're looking to where the puck is actually going, and they're becoming the puck. Because then that's going to create a situation where everybody else has to follow us.
Yep. And you think about your assets, like when you own, all of you own businesses. Your asset actually is that database. It is the household. It is those are the relationships. When you think about what's your transition plan of that business. Has anybody been to a doctor's office recently where you walk in and the whole staff is different? Maybe your doctor is different. Well, what did they sell? Their book of business. They sold their book of business. So maybe the business was the same, but that changed out. So just being aware of like, what does that look like? It's where we talk about 201 plus. It's where we talk about the tools and the technology and the database. That really is your asset. So if you're going anything as your business planning for next year, it is, do you have those contacts? How many do you have? How frequently are you communicating with them? Are you using the pie party? Are you staying in relationship with them? Not just the transactional, but really moving from that transactional to relationship and being clear of the households that you serve as a part of your business. How many families do you want to serve next year? Think about the language we're using that impacts the businesses we're building.